Hey man, you want good testosterone levels?
Sure do. What's the risk, boss?
Well, possible lung cancer, death.
So how long does my testosterone level get to stay optimal for?
However long. Well, how long do I get to stay alive? Idiots! What is up? It's your boy Johnny, SHREVE, BB promos, and tell like it is. Today, guys, we're gonna talk about Andrew Tate's diet. We're gonna actually sift through some of the nonsense, and there might be some relevance in what he's saying. Just let's dive into it.
My diet is particularly strange, I've been told. I live on caffeine and nicotine. So I eat once a day. I eat dinner only. 80% of my calories come from meat. I have 10 cups of coffee a day and 3 or 4 large cigars. So I like caffeine and nicotine.
I do too.
Yeah, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like my blood's on fire a little bit. But you're a health.
Definitely buzz on fire. That could actually just be your heart beating out of your chest, making your body feel like it's on flames, but what I know.
Obviously. I'm a health guy, but smoking is fantastic for your testosterone level. Testosterone level is a fantastic way to measure your overall health as a man.
But nicotine has a positive correlation to testosterone.
Absolutely, it's been proven. Yep, it's been proven.
Proven.
Repeatedly. That's why I love nicotine so much. And then caffeine, I love to have that little bit of not jitter, but I like to feel energetic and I like to be hungry. My optimal state is hungry, but energetic. That's how I get the most done. I don't like eating. If I eat, I feel full, I feel lethargic. I like I like to be hungry and 1% irritable from my 5th coffee and a bunch of nicotine inside of me. That's how I like to perform.
All right, so let's just tear this thing right apart. Let's just go step by step. All right, first things first. Let's go. Number 1, numero uno. All right, he eats once a day. So if you guys understand that eating once a day, and there's probably some people out there who are doing intermittent fasting, and they're whatever, if it works for you, great. But science says, look, if we're trying to preserve muscle or even build a muscle, right? If we want to preserve or build, the amount of protein distributed over 3 to 5 meals is required, right? You could eat 3 meals a day that have protein in them, or you can eat 5 meals a day that have protein in them. You don't need 6 to 8 meals a day of protein in them. Eating 1 is not good either. So when it comes down to it, if you want to build muscle or sustain muscle, you need to be eating your protein at least 3 to 5 times a day, basically. Getting your amount of protein. So like say for me, I weigh 218 pounds right now. I'm gonna eat around 220 grams of protein over the course of my day. And if I happen to have 3 meals in my day, I'm gonna have 3 meals with protein in them that are gonna be combined in the amount of total grams of protein in my day. So I could have the even amount in each one of them. I can split up 220 grams in each meal, or I can have a small amount in my first meal, a bigger amount in my second meal, or even the even large amount in my third. Or if I feel like one day I might just have it spread out between 5 meals, depending. Right? You can do that too. Completely fine. So take the amount of calories, take the amount of protein that you need to eat within the day, and you can either separate those, you can either divide those up within 3 meals or 5 meals. Super simple. 1 meal a day just isn't gonna cut it. You can if you want, do what you want to do, but I'm always gonna back the science.
Told. I live on caffeine and nicotine. So I eat once a day. I eat dinner only. 80% of my calories come from meat. I have 10 cups of coffee a day.
All right, so 80% of his calories come from meat. Well, we got some really good, data from your boy Tristan Lee, who is basically doing carnivore forever, and the majority of his diet, probably around 80%, was meat. And all of a sudden, he adds those other macronutrients in there. He adds some greens. He adds some more fats. He's already eating fats anyway, but then he was eating more, more carbs. He added some more of those macros into it. All of a sudden, bam, look at him. He looks unbelievable. More energy, more balance, everything, right? One size fits all kind of attitude doesn't work. So yes, if you're doing a carnivore diet, whatever, man, again, do you, boo-boo. Whatever you're doing, if it works for you, the diet that works best is the one that you can stick to. The one that you can make sustainable for the remainder of your life. But when it comes down to it, balance-wise, your body running the most optimal, regardless of what you're doing in terms of diet, you need to incorporate all of the macronutrients. All of them. I don't care where you get them from. I don't care. Just make sure you have your protein, your carbs, and your fats, right? Protein doesn't mean just meat. Fat doesn't mean just, bad fat or whatever. And carbs don't mean just Grains. Again, getting everything is going to be that much more optimal than getting one. Because when you get only one, then you're asking your body to work overtime to fill the gaps for the other part of the assembly line that no longer is there. Let's just say when you eat food and it goes in one food, goes into your mouth, goes out the other, right? There's an assembly line there. There's an assembly line that's there. And certain things need to be pulled out of the assembly line or to work, right? There's the protein goes in and then goes this way, and then the carbs go here for this thing, and then the fats go here for this thing, and the assembly line's working. And all of a sudden, you're like, you know what? Your carbs decide to go on strike, and you're like, I guess I gotta make up for this person now. This group. That might not be a bad thing, but when it comes to it, you can't argue that it's probably better having a balance of everything than having one abundance of one thing.
3 or 4 large cigars. So I like caffeine and nicotine.
I do too.
Yeah, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like my blood's on fire a little bit.
But you're a health guy, obviously.
I'm a health guy.
Obviously. What are the standards here? My man just literally said, I have 10 cups of coffee a day. I love nicotine. I smoke, what, 3-4 cigars a day? What? Hold on a second here. Let's break down this diet. I only eat once a day. My diet consists of only meat. 80% of it. I drink 10 cups of coffee a day and I have 4 cigars. And my man Carlson's like, hey, but you're a health guy, right? And he's like, yeah, obviously. He says, obviously, you're a health guy. I guess according to the standards, don't get hurt about this, don't get triggered. But I guess according to the health standards of, I'm going to say North America. I'm not going to single out the US. I'm going to say all of us. I'm going to say this entire continent here is blowing it when it comes to standards of health. If my man here can be like, yeah, you're a health nut. You're a health guy, right? Yeah, obviously. He exclamated that with an obviously.
Smoking is fantastic for your testosterone level. Testosterone level is a fantastic way to measure your overall health as a man.
Let's talk about that one. Yeah, testosterone is the ultimate way to test the health of a man. The ultimate testosterone. That's all I need. Just test. And if your testosterone levels are through the roof, or even at the top range where it should be, it's not the best measurement of a man's health whatsoever. Because there's a lot of other things. Guess what? What about the person who's got all the muscle in the world and the testosterone levels at peak performance? My man could jump, dive, fight, I don't know, make love like the best of them, but he's depressed. She might be bulimic, have anorexia, I don't know. But then your testosterone levels won't be. I know a group of people. I got a lot of data in a group of people that I can say, hey, check it out. Most of these people have testosterone levels either at the peak of the range or above that are maybe bulimic. It's possible. So the testosterone is not the best way to measure. It's a way, it's a variable, but it's definitely not the best. What about like cardiovascular health? How about that? Hey, the guy with the great muscles and great testosterone range can't jog 5 minutes. What do you mean?
But nicotine has a positive correlation to testosterone.
Absolutely, it's been proven.
You know what sucks about this case? So let's go for I had some notes here. All right, so smoking. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. But I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This guy is not going to just spit something out that just have some type of relevance. Like, there's no way this guy just said smoking and nicotine is good for your testosterone. Raise it to. So I was like, let me dive into that. Let me make sure. Let me see if this is. It's just got it. There's no way. There's no way. There's a bunch of studies. There's like 4 or 5 studies done with like big enough, good sample sizes to get the findings here, and the findings were literally. I couldn't believe it. There are some that say that nicotine doesn't, but with these studies that were done, it does. It does. I was like, wow, really? But I'm like, great. But wait a minute. So? So? What are you talking about? Come on, man. Like, I don't get what? Okay, so I get it. All right, so there's some studies that are done, and there's enough to find and give proof or proven that nicotine smoking, because the studies were done with people who are smoking. Not people who are taking Nicorette. It wasn't like a bunch of people taking Nicorette and taking the pre-workout and going to the gym and be like, look, testosterone's good because I'm taking Nicorette. No, these are people smoking. They got their Marlboros, They got their, that's from Americans, they got their Canadian classics. And testosterone proven. And I'm like, okay, great. So, what about the other problems that come with it? But you're a health guy, right? Yes, obviously. What? Obviously, here's the obvious about how dumb that sounds. Even if it's proven. What about cancer? What about all the other things that are way worse for you when it comes to smoking cigarettes? Like, what about dying? What about coronary heart disease? What are you talking about? Hold on a second. Next up, Andrew Tate's gonna be like, yeah, you know what's raised testosterone? Bathing in blood and then jumping in shark-infested waters. That raises testosterone. It's like, oh yeah, you're a health nut? Yes, obviously. Guess what else raises testosterone? Steroids. Steroids raise testosterone. You know what else raises testosterone? Abusing steroids. And you know what happens when you abuse steroids? Side effects, possible death. Possible. But 100% side effects. Health complications. Sounds pretty similar to nicotine and smoking. This guy was like bashing bodybuilders. Bodybuilders are dumb as hell, man, taking this testosterone and stuff. Losers. They're all losers. They're bodybuilding and taking testosterone to raise their testosterone. They take steroids. Loser. Idiots. What? Dumb. So, obviously, obvious things, dumb. Let's go to the next thing. So, when it comes down to it, testosterone isn't the best way to measure somebody's health. There are so many other ways that can measure somebody's health. Number one, blood pressure. And you can have great testosterone levels. You can be at the TRT clinic and getting the best of the best TRT. The dose is perfect for you. You're getting tested every 6 weeks. Whatever you get back, you got the best dose for you. Blam. And it's right there it's not at the where it should be level for your age. It's at the here. You now gonna feel like you're 18 forever. It's here. I'm just giving an example. But guess what? Your blood pressure sucks. And your test can still be good. But your blood pressure sucks. You can have great testosterone, but have terrible cholesterol. You could be one of those like you could be Cali muscle. Oh, I said it. Oh, my bad. Whatever. Body mass index. You can have great overall test levels that are right where they need to be, but you might be a little overweight. Or how about you might just have too much muscle? Like, we don't have to always look for, the body mass index as being like the person who has too much fat in the body is unhealthy. What about the person that has way too much muscle in the body? How about that? But like, there's way more, right? Yeah, again, we get the claims of nicotine being, yes, it can raise your testosterone. Great. But like, the risk and reward. It's like, hey man, you want good testosterone levels?
Sure do. What's the risk, boss?
Well, possible lung cancer, death.
So how long does my testosterone level get to stay optimal for?
However long. Well, how long do I get to stay alive? We don't really know. We don't know. One day is one day you might not. You might not ever get cancer or have anything happen to you from cigarettes. We don't know, but it's a gamble. Are there any other things I can do that can help raise my testosterone? No. What? Anyway, I thought I'd just go over that, guys. It's pretty obvious that he said it in one of the other videos. I am the worst person to listen to about diet advice, but there are certain things that people do follow that Andrew Tate has said. Not even listen to Andrew Tate. There's some common mistakes here. Common mistakes. Number one, again, we're talking about like getting in the right amount of protein in. When it comes to meal timing, or I would say meal frequency, it's gonna come down mostly to, number one, let's make sure that they are balanced. But two, you wanna make sure that you're getting your protein over at least 3 meals to 5 meals a day. Pick which one. You can do 3, you can do 4, you can do 4.5, you can do 3.5, doesn't really matter. As long as it's spread out like so, between 3 to 5, it's great. Once a day, it doesn't. There's science says this is more optimal. Does the other way might work? Man, but your ability to hold muscle, sustain muscle, grow muscle kind of gets a lot harder and harder and harder, right? When it comes to coffee, if you say anything about water, if you're drinking 10 cups of coffee a day, I hope you're drinking 20 minimum cups of water a day. If you're doing 1 cup of coffee, you should be doing like 2 cups of water with it, at least. Like, double that shit up. That's gonna dehydrate the shit out of you. Your heart rate's going up. It's not good for your, right? There's this obviously dumb things, but there are people out there who love their caffeine. There are people who are out there who just, they might have half of that. Is half of that still good? No, it's not. The biggest thing is, I can't tell you what to do or not do, but I'm gonna say, if you're gonna drink absurd amounts of coffee, please couple it with water. Literally, get a couple glasses of water with your cup of coffee. Please. And then when it comes to smoking cigars, it's like, we all know it's not good. I don't care if there's any benefits from it. There's other ways you can raise your testosterone, like, you know, a healthy diet. How about that? Getting out and doing cardio. A good cardiovascular health is gonna help your testosterone. You know, that, you know, resistance training. There's so many other things that have that much more benefit than to do something that can 100% F your life. Anyway, guys, I thought I'd give you a little bit of my 2 cents in the matter, and then deliver some value for you guys as well too, for those who are out there who are just wondering. I hope you guys got some value that you can implement into your life. But if you're wondering about proper nutrition and sustainability, grab my ebook. The Final Diet right now has all of the answers in the most simplistic way, the way I like to coach, full of personal anecdotes and experiences with my clients and my journey on my fitness journey, as well as my nutrition journey. So guys, get it right now. It's in the link in the description below. And guys, till next time, binge watch my videos. And you guys know what it is. Iron sharpens iron. Progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.